right, hey guys. Thanks for taking the time to tune in. Um, we're going to try to keep going on the line of temptation. Trying to explain that, and in part one, I was talking about my experience and kind of how I grew up understanding temptation, and so it was more along the lines of, you have a, a devil on one side and an angel on the other, and it was a constant, like, trying to tune in and listen to one side or the other. And that was how I grew up, understanding temptation. And so, the I guess one of the pitfalls with that type of belief system that I ran into is that it was extremely difficult for me to make a decision. And one of the reasons was is that I always thought that whatever the devil was trying to tell me was, he was trying to he would depict himself as good. And so I had to kind of sift through, well, what I think is actually a good thing that I'm trying to be pulled in that direction. Could that be him? Could that be am I being misled? And so I grew up with decisions being extremely difficult, like, because I was constantly weighing this out, like, is this am I listening to, am I following my heart? Am I listening to evil, or am I listening to good? And so this concept of good and evil, um, from my experience in life, like, when you have that kind of sort of that paradigm where you're constantly thinking of which way, are you being led, that kind of paradigm, it leads, it can lead, from my experience, like, it can lead you to a place where decisions are so difficult for you to make. And there's no, so after you make a decision, there's no, like, confirmation a lot of times as to if that was the correct leading. Did you listen to the right thing, or were you misled? And so, that comes with some pitfalls as well, because we like to know that we're on the right path, and we like to know that the decisions that we are making in life are appropriate, or have some sort of wisdom and guidance to them. Especially us, who call ourselves believers, we want to follow Christ, follow his spirit, and follow his leading. So, like, thinking about those things, and this is just my personal experience with a set of beliefs, as I'm listening to these, quote unquote, voices, like, as I'm listening to one side or the other. What I didn't realize until later in life is that I was really, self-absorbed, really just consumed with me. And um, anytime that you run into that, that should be alarming to you, when you are just consumed with yourself. And so it was along the lines of trying to be a good thing, and trying to be, Christ-like, and trying to be led by Christ. But I was so consumed with with me, and I thought that all of it was basically, I I may have not put it in these words, but basically, like, the salvation, or how pleasing I was to God, was all based upon, what I did or what I did not do. And so, you if you have that set of beliefs, you will always it's inevitable that you will find yourself on the opposing end of what you feel that pleases God. Okay, so when we do, find ourselves there, and this is kind of like my personal experience. So, like, when I would find myself there, like, let's just say I made the wrong choice or wrong decision, or just really being uncertain about a lot of things. And so when you see yourself as um, not pleasing God, our knee-jerk reaction, I guess our instinct is to pull away and get away from God, because we think he's angry, or he's upset, or I've let him down, I've disappointed God. And so however many times this happens in your life, you will pull away and pull away and pull away, and then it's like, how do you ever get back to that place where you are um looking to God for his advice. And so this um concept of temptation, and this following following this good and evil thing, like when you see that battle going on the inside of you, I think the first thing that we should realize is that we are self-consumed, and we are just completely absorbed with this, with good and evil, and trying to figure out which one, where do we fall. So it's one of those things where in life, if we could, what I'm trying to get across is shifting our focus. And anytime we can take the spotlight off of us and off of what we do, and put it more heavenly into what Christ has done for us, then it alleviates a ton of stress out of our lives, and it puts us in our proper position to receive, and knowing that it's not all dependent upon our actions to please God, if that could ever happen. So hopefully that helps, and hopefully that kind of sums up that kind of that, I guess, that structure of belief where we are consumed with good and evil, and we see that going on the inside of us, like in our minds. We have just demon on one side, angel on the other, and that is the definition of like good and evil, and that structure and that paradigm. So take you know take time to think about those things, and if nothing else, realize, hey, I am self-consumed with that type of belief system.